Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the third installment of my trip to Quebec Cichlids in Terrebonne, north of Montreal. It's a great store, great people. Check them out if you're anywhere near them. Also, you can check them out online. They have a great YouTube channel. I want to start this video off by showing you some of the fish I've purchased, especially this particular female, Hatborelli, however you pronounce that. She's carrying eggs, which is kind of cool. I didn't know they bred this young, which is very nice. Just want to let Richelle know, who runs Quebec Cichlids, that I am taking good care of your fish. So this is going to be possibly the last installment of this. In future visits, I know they're doing some renos and whatnot, and I may do some filming of that as well and show you what's going on there. Also, I may just show you videos of fish that I bought through them. So this last installment is going to cover a few things, and also at the end I want to show you the reason why I started this video series, which is the rostratus I bought. So stay tuned, and they'll be at the end.
Poor guy hasn't come out since.
Says everyone got eaten that went out, so I'm not coming out.
Exactly, right though. Yeah, I might put some peacocks in there.
They got all kinds of stuff you can grow. It's a nice sized tank.
It's so big.
I keep realizing it was a slight height difference between you and I.
Slight, yes.
Hey, I'm ahead again.
There we go. You're gonna have weird cropping in your
It's gonna be like this. So, who's that guy with no eyes?
Oh, they'll recognize the shirt that
Oh, there you go, yeah.
substitute my own. I just read your shirt. I hadn't read it.
You ever watched Mythbusters? TV show?
Oh,
That's what this is from.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense I would come from there.
Yeah, Adam Savage is the one who coined this phrase.
Clever.
Because everyone was trying to get him to do a certain thing, and he didn't want to. This came out of his mouth, and everyone loved it.
Yeah, it's great.
Reject your reality.
Substitute my own.
Yeah.
Bam.
And it's kind of like, that's a great model for life in general.
Yes, it is. I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go around, and I'm going to have a few videos of...
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'll get all your tanks, but...
Probably not.
That'll be a lot of footage.
Exactly, yeah. But I haven't done my... I don't want to do a store tour yet, because I want to do my project.
Is there a part you want me to miss?
No. Like, just do it. It's just I don't like it yet. No, it's not.
I'll call it a work in progress. How's that?
That's perfect.
All right.
But it's still very functional.
Thank you very much for all your time.
Thank you, Eric, for coming by.
Oh, we're going to be by lots.
Yeah.
My daughter was upset with me today because last time we came, she was with us because we went to the K-pop store downtown.
Oh, and you weren't going there today?
Well, I was like, I have to do all this taping, and I got fish I got to bring back, and I'm not sure how long it was going to take.
Oh, no.
And then I didn't want to hit Montreal traffic during rush hour. Sorry, she'll forgive me. Because I told her I'll be coming back, so I mean, I know you will ship, and every now and then I will get shipments.
Yeah.
But I'd rather come down and chat and see stuff.
Yeah, when I ship, it's usually for the next day. It's not 3 days later. So.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Good, yeah. Who does the...
FedEx.
FedEx?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
FedEx from Canada, right?
But I'm just confounded on how long it takes to get from one part of New York to another part of New York. Whereas it took me less time to drive to Ogdensburg and back than it took me to drive to Montreal.
Well, today you got it.
Yeah, today was a bad day. But even still, it's only 2 hours there and back.
And
then, but it takes 3 days to get a parcel from not much further than that to Ogdensburg.
Because I shipped to Toronto, and it's the next day as well.
Montreal to Toronto is probably about the same distance as parcel line.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I'm relating. It's the same distance, and it takes me a whole day. Just the next day it's there.
Yeah, that I understand completely.
Yeah, exactly.
3 days, they either ship it to California and then ship it back,
Or maybe they forgot to box.
no, this is I'm pretty sure it's standard, because when I was talking to the guy shipping, he says, I'm shipping on Monday, it should arrive there on Thursday, and I was thinking to myself, is that a typo? So I typed back, you said Thursday, right? Not, you didn't mean Tuesday. I said, no, yeah, it was Thursday.
That is, well, that's skill. So if they can ship for 3 days and the fish are okay.
I opened the bag, and it was as if they weren't in the bag. They're all active, happy. I cut open the bag and I put them in I have these plastic bins.
Yeah.
And I started doing the drip. They were all swimming around, active and everything.
Perfect.
Put them in the fish tank, fell in his.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, with the light, you have to be careful when you do that. They can have a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah. If they've been in the box for too long and you open it up with too much light, they can have a heart attack because it's stressful.
Never had
They've
that
been
happen.
in the dark, yeah.
The only time I ever had something similar to that was back when I used to do predator tanks with salt water. I had a big lion, and I opened up a bag that had a goldfish in it for him. He saw the goldfish, got so excited, he had a stroke. Started twitching, went on his side, and that was it. Like, what?
Yeah, fish can get strokes, and if they survive it, actually, you can tell on the fish. It happens actually a lot in discus.
Yeah.
It's their half goes black.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? A half face? It's
No.
that they probably had a stroke and they didn't have oxygen. So it's like,
Well, I mean...
I saw it only once, twice it happened.
Anything that
And
can happen in a
it was
human can happen in anything else, as far as I'm concerned. But
Yes.
I've never actually seen, that was the only time I've actually ever seen where I can identify 100% that, wow, you had a stroke.
Yeah.
Because you just freaked out.
Well, when you're shipping, let's say you receive your fish, you open the bag, and the fish was probably fine. But if the light is too strong and it stresses it out, you might have a DOA and you just figure it, you just chuck it up to DOAs. But it was probably alive when you open the bag.
Never had
So
that.
when I do arrivals, like when the lights are down, and I open it up very delicately, I just a little bit of light and then a little bit more. And
Just so you know, the care you take when you open up fish and you acclimate your fish, I know people who take care of saltwater fish who don't go to that much care. Because,
really?
they'll just say, oh yeah, it's, what do they call it? The
Plop and drop.
plop and drop, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that.
Well, actually, why they say they can do the plop and drop, it's because of the CO2. So a fish, when it's breathing, it brings out CO2, which it brings down the pH of water.
Yeah.
So technically, when you open the bag, the pH will rise back up. But in African cichlids, my KH is at like 240.
Yeah.
So the pH doesn't drop that much. So you're better off doing the drip. But even then,
fresh, I mean, I understand freshwater fish, if they live in a river, it rains, the water changes automatically. I mean, I understand all that.
yeah.
And I understand you can get away with a lot of stuff with freshwater fish, but it's nice to see that people don't take that and say, well, I know it's going to live, but I'm going to stress it out anyway, just pour it in the
I know.
tank.
Like I said, I explained the science behind it, but I still don't use that. Everybody, I mean, I just saw people coming into the store. I meet a lot of people, and everyone who's done the plop and drop, they do it at first, and they come to me, and I tell them, oh, this is how you acclimate. And they're like, oh, that's probably why I lose so many fish. They
Part of
lose
it.
a lot of fish moving, and they blame usually the pet shop, figuring, well, the pet shop sold me unhealthy fish.
Yeah.
But that was not the case. The fish was probably healthy, and then it got stressed out.
Or some balance in the middle.
Exactly.
I mean, I guarantee you not
Yeah,
all
it's
pet
probably-
shops look like this.
That's true. There's probably a balance as well. It's probably not 100% the pet shop's fault. That the fish diet is probably acclimating too.
Well,
And with the drip, people don't lose fish. Like, my clients don't lose fish when they get home. They put them in, and
I've looked pretty much through every fish you have here. And I go to a pet store, if I see 100 tanks and 10 tanks I find that are acceptable to buy fish from, I'm impressed.
yeah.
There's no tanks here that I wouldn't buy a fish from. There are fish that I wouldn't want because, well, they're Tanganyikans and the clients don't want them.
Oh, I understand.
But there's no fish I would buy here not buy here for health reasons.
Oh, thank you.
But that's you're kind of spoiled that way because it's not the norm.
No, I know. I spoil my fish, and I work really hard for that to keep them healthy, and it's what I base my company on.
Well, that's what it should be, right?
The number of people I met would buy a sick fish, even practically knowing that it would be sick, and then complaining later because it infected the tank. It's a lot of people, and it shouldn't be that way. We have to respect the animals. I mean, if they're sick, you don't encourage the place. It's a good thing. If you don't find that the place has good practices, you don't give them your money. Because when you're buying, it's just like voting. It's that you encourage them and you said, what you're doing is good, here's money. And what they do is they take that money and they put it on other fish that they're going to treat the same way. So you have to buy from places that you respect.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people will not look at a fish and see all that.
No, I know.
They look at it. I've actually been sitting in a pet store deciding whether these fish are going to live or not, and someone will come by and say, "Oh, I like him. He's swimming kind of in a neat pattern." And that's because he's going to be dead in an hour, but they think it was cool.
Yeah, and the pet shop didn't tell them that it's because they're dying. There's that too, you know. But the thing is, if that person had gone to the pet shop and say, "Hey, you have a dying fish right here. I'm not going to buy from that tank." Well, then maybe the person will, they'll think about it next time.
You have a lot more faith in humans than I do.
Yeah, I do. Well, that's why I put my YouTube channel up, and you notice I'm very into animal rights and all that. And it's not just to promote my store; it's also to promote the animal rights, respecting fish, and it gives me a voice, and I love it.
Well, YouTube is such a great venue. I mean, it's tons of stuff that would just never be available to anybody. All of a sudden it is.
Yeah.
And I would like it that fish have the same sort of rights at least as if you were going buying a puppy or a kitten. You shouldn't be able to drive by and see someone, oh, they threw their tank out. Oh, man, there's fish in there still.
Yeah, I've heard of
things like that.
I've heard that happened recently as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, somebody, I saw it on a Facebook group. Somebody had found a tank with a fish in it, outside, abandoned for a week.
Yeah.
And
waiting for the garbage to come pick it up.
Exactly, and they brought it in, but they were like, they didn't know anything about fish keeping or like the red-tailed shark in my 300-gallon, did you see the rescue red-tailed shark?
I watched one of I have less time than you do.
I know, I see that.
And it's hard to catch up on all the videos.
Oh, I understand.
But I tend to try, once I found you, I'm keeping up on all the current ones.
Oh, I have a lot of other videos.
Yeah,
actually,
I understand.
In 4 videos, I'll be celebrating my 100th video.
Wow,
Well, I put on a
congratulations.
party. I'll see what I do.
I'm only in the 50s somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
But,
I had the channel for a long time, but I didn't really invest in it. I just take a video of a fish and put it there, but not really promote it.
Well, I noticed that your subscribers have gone way up since you started doing that.
I started 3 weeks ago at my first video where I feature. I was at 140, and now I think I'm at 460. I'm actually over 460. I'm nearing 500 now. So yeah, I've been promoting it a lot.
Well, sure.
I have a newsletter. I have Instagram. I have Facebook, and I'm always.
Well, the upside for you, at least commercially, is once people in this area, Ontario, and places that you can ship to find that you actually do shipping.
Yeah.
And you can widen your market drastically.
Exactly. That's true. And I am trying to put it on my website as well, more emphasis on the shipping to just make it obvious, because there's so much information you want to give everyone, right? You're like, well, I have fish, I have dry goods, I have everything, I have pictures, so you don't know where do you go?
Yeah.
I ship you fish.
When I started doing this last fall, I built a computer, and it had, I figured a terabyte was more than enough for the hard drive. So I got a terabyte hard drive. A couple months into it, I said, okay, I need a 3 terabyte backup drive. So I got 4 terabytes going, and all I keep on my regular drive is the stuff I haven't processed yet.
Yeah.
And it's full. There's a terabyte of video there waiting to be made into videos so I can get it off my drive and into the storage. And it's like, where's the time for all this?
I know it's really hard because you have also your business that with your YouTube channel you promote your business as well, but you still have to take care of that business. It's still running. There are people who need your help with projects and you can't just figure out, just sit back and then, I know the feeling.
So, yeah, it's never ending.
Yeah, well, it's great, and it's you just move forward, you know.
Well, I find that you do this long enough, eventually it gets a little stale. So you try something else. But I find with YouTube, I'm doing stuff about what I know and what I like, and it just sort of injects life into something that I've been doing for 30 years.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
It's funny, huh? You're sharing it, and you get feedback also. It's really fun, you know, that talking with people and most people.
There's always a few.
I know.
But anyway, I think we've got about an hour and a half of video here.
We're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
So I'll just do a little bit of filming.
Do it.
And then
I think this is the third time you said you'll start with your filming, so I
think it's time.
it's time, yeah.
Alrighty. And that's the problem with conversation that you're enjoying. It just never seems to end, because as soon as you start to try to stop something, you get off on a tangent, you start talking about something else. All in all, it was a great day. Like I said, I really do recommend going to check them out and everything. Great fish, great everything. The unfortunate only downside to this whole thing was when I got home, I opened up the bucket. It was only like, they're only in there 2 hours, but the large male rostratus was dead in the bucket, which is like I said, we must have jinxed ourselves or something while we're having that conversation. But fortunately, the secondary male, which you can see right there, has decided that, hey, there's no boss anymore. I can take care of business myself, and he's starting to color up now, and I'm going to keep these guys. Sorry, Richelle, I know I promised I'd have a light on this tank and have it all decorated for you, but as you can hopefully understand, life is just way too busy sometimes to get everything you need done. And I really wanted to get this video out there, so hopefully you'll forgive me for that. And in future, when I do fish room updates, I will include updates on these guys, because I'm hoping that they're going to breed for me. And I will try and make this tank look a little bit more presentable for you. Obviously, most of my fish room is designed for maintenance and care for fish, not so much for display purposes. I just want them to be happy, healthy, and breed, and I think I'm going to have that covered nicely. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video series. I really enjoyed making it. And if you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again.